Welcome to another episode of Itchy Palms Gardens, my obsession. I was brought up in northern Victoria on a beautiful property with palm trees lining the driveway. And now I live in central Victoria and we have a property with palm trees lining our driveway. And it's even colder than northern Victoria in Australia. We have a temperate climate here in Victoria, and that makes it quite difficult to grow most varieties of palm trees. So I thought I'd give you a little feature of the palm trees that we can grow here in central Victoria. First of all, we have American cotton palms. These line our driveway and are featured around our dam and in other parts of the garden. We have plantings with small and large cotton palms and groups of 3 also. As the palms have grown, we've cut the fronds quite a bit longer than normal so that they stay on the trunk a bit longer, because I like the look of the fronds on the trunk, and it also gives the birds a nice spot to land on, a bit of a perch all the way up. We like to encourage birds here at Itchy Palms Gardens. Eventually the fronds will stretch with the trunks and fall off, and the trunks will become grey as the trees get taller, but I'm enjoying them being brown and crisscrossy as long as I can. I do like that textured look. What do you think? Because I really like that jungle look, I've let some of our vines go a bit crazy like me and climb up the palm trees, but in the winter I can keep them in check because it's such a cold climate here and gets down to probably about -4 or 5 degrees Celsius, that is. Beautiful grey majestic wine palm is probably my favourite palm here that's cold tolerant in central Victoria, Australia. I've grown many of these from seed and they feature in quite a few gardens here at Itchy Palms also. These have a feather-like frond, unlike the cotton palm, which has a fan frond. And again, I do cut the fronds on these trees while they're young, and the trunks will be grey when they're older, and the rest of the leaf litter does fall off the tree naturally. When these wine palms flower, they have an apricot-like fruit, which is edible on the outside, but not very palatable. Some people make jam from it, but I don't worry. The seeds are like mini coconuts. Another palm tree that I'm able to grow here at Itchy Palms Gardens is the European fan palm. This palm comes in shades of green through to grey, with leaves that are fine through to quite wide fan type leaves. This palm is a clumping palm and it has multi stems. The spikes are quite prickly. Best not to hide the Easter eggs in here. The Canary Island palm is one of my favourites. This is the one that lined our driveway when I grew up. It's a very cold tolerant palm, and some people even think of it as a weed, but I don't. The fronds on this palm are very spiky towards the base, and they're feather-like and wave in the breeze like tentacles. Here in Australia they say poisonous snakes don't climb. I'm afraid they are wrong, because when I was at my parents' house under a 30-foot palm tree, a tiger snake came flying through the air after it had climbed up to eat the rats in it and landed at our feet and stood up like a cobra. A group of us were under the tree and we were all quite glad we didn't end up with a scaly scarf. This is a rather old seed pod of a currajong. It doesn't look very impressive, but it is one of my childhood memories. Currajongs are beautiful trees that are very drought tolerant and don't need much water at all. Apart from the palm trees on our property, the first trees that I actually planted were currajongs. The seed pods have very itchy surrounds that encase the seed in the leathery jacket. They're really not something you want put down your shirt. Currajongs are a beautiful evergreen tree that makes a nice change from deciduous trees. I grew all the currajongs on our property from seeds, and it appears that some trees have very broad leaves and other trees have narrow pinnate leaves, depending on what seed they come from. You're always learning something when you're gardening. So the origins of the name Itchy Palms Gardens came from the two trees that were planted first on the property, the palm trees and the currajong with its itchy pod. So the old pun about having itchy palms and coming into money is something that I really wish would happen to us, but I'm still waiting.